James Willoughby here with Keller Williams Realty here in Austin, Texas. We're doing a review of what's happening in the Austin MSA. We do this every week. The key metrics we're going to look at this week is overall inventory, the new listings versus new pendings for last week. That's the week ending October the 8th, 2023. And we're going to look at median sales price as well. And we'll have a little chat about interest rates. So let's take it away. I'm going to move my head over here and we will go to our first graph, which is active listings. So if you've been watching this video, you know that our active listings have done just over 10,000 listings each week. That's actually considered a very healthy market. It's a good supply of inventory, yet not too much. And it's really tracking about where it was at this time last year. So the more important graph is always the new listings coming on the market versus the new pendings per week. So we track this every single week. Last week we had 703 new listings hit the market and 646 go pending. So there's a split of 57 homes there. That is actually relatively healthy because, as you can see, the overall inventory is level. So there are a number of people that are calling it quits. Their homes are, their listings have terminated based on they expired, or maybe they just withdrew from the market. They're waiting for another time. So that keeps the market in balance. Now, what we also want to look at is absorption rate, which we talk about in terms of weeks of inventory. So we take the total homes that sold last week, the total number of pendings rather, divided by the 10,000 plus listings we have, and that gives us 15.7 weeks of inventory. Now you can see that it's kind of on one of the higher levels for the year. I would consider that to be normal for a fall market. We have fewer buyers, as you can see, as evidenced by the number of homes that are going pending in the fall, which is in the 600s, versus the summer, which is the 900 range. So that's not surprising, not shocking, not scary for a seller. Hopefully, you may not get immediate results. You may have fewer showings. So what it really comes down to, if you're a seller, is having the home look great, show well, lights on, music on, and make sure we show the home in its best possible light, and of course, price the home properly. So it is an opportunity for buyers to come out and look at homes as well, because they might get a better deal. There might be some leftover homes from the summer market that people are finally pricing correctly, or maybe even pricing lower than market because they've been on the market a long time. Now, this is the median sales price. So we've been tracking this for years, actually. These are going to be the unofficial results for this month, but last month we were at 462. This month, actually 2 months ago, we were at 462, August 460, and then now we're at 457. So median means middle. So we took the middle price. When the official statistics come out from the Board of Realtors, which won't happen for another week and a half, I'm guessing the numbers should be very, very similar, if not exactly the same. Some realtors don't report their information right away, so therefore there could be a small adjustment, but it should be pretty trivial, if any. All right, let's talk about interest rates now. Interest rates have been in the news. Rates continue to go up. I mean, we thought last year, way back, and well, let's see, we'll go back here to, this time period last year, rates were at 5.89. They obviously went up, the market cooled off, rates kind of came back down. In the beginning of the year, rates were around 6, which was pretty decent, and we actually had pretty decent activity in the spring. Then rates went up and kind of went down, and so they've been kind of seesawing. But the general trend is to go up. So we went from, last week of 7.31, which we reported as the highest rates since 2020, or 2002, I believe. It went from 7.31 to last week 7.49. So rates are the highest that they've been in years and years. In fact, I've got the Freddie Mac rather mortgage history here, and you can see that we have stats going all the way back to 1971. So they're talking about what's going on. Overall nationally, the market's pulling back, demand's pulling back. Locally, we're actually not seeing that. So that's interesting. But we're doing basically the same graphs that they're doing. That's because we're sourcing our numbers from them. But when we look at the overall, going back to 1971, let's make that a little bit bigger for you. So you go back to the 70s, it was, actually the rates weren't that great, about the same, in the early 70s when they started recording it. I remember my dad being upset about his interest rate back in, in that era. And he bought it, I think, 6.5% at some point. Then rates went way up. So our record high was 18%. But if we go back into history, the last time we were this high, 7.4. We go back to about right here. All right, so that takes you to December 15th, year 2000. So that's pretty interesting. So highest rates in 23 years. But as you can see, we've gone through historically some pretty big, humongous zigzags on rates. I think this will turn back around. According to the experts, when we get under 6%, which should happen by middle of next year, we're going to have a huge refinance boom. And, I do think sales won't just blossom, but there will be some buyers that were sitting on the sidelines and it'll cause them to jump off the fence and go ahead and buy a home at that point. So, at any rate, that's the big news for the day, for the week, and we'll keep you in the loop next week and let you know what's happening then. And you have a fantastic rest of the week.